Braun, Frazier, and Kratz, a couple minutes away from bringing in our next guest too, who is a young one, Jackson Jobe.
What a big league name.
Young phenom.
Did you get a last name as your first name?
His parents knew, right? Dude is going to be in the bigs. He's going to get a big-ass signing bonus. And when they announced that, I'm not going to throw another name under the bus because I'm not going to do that. But they're like, it's got to be Jackson Jobe.
You love throwing names under the bus.
No, real names. Like of individuals.
No,
I'm not going to throw like a common person, name because then someone's going, that's my kid's name,
You tell me you don't name your kid Jobe too?
All right. Like
you mean
he's not Eric Jobe.
You weren't going with
Todd Jobe.
You weren't going
Scott
with
Jobe.
as Drupal Frazier.
As Drupal?
I love that's something that's underrated in baseball is like the unique names. And when
I had
I
a good
hear
one
you
in minor leagues, Keltavius Jones.
Come on, that is so big. How did he not make it? How did he not make it?
Small left-hander. He could slap hit with the best of them. It just didn't pan out, man.
What say it again?
Keltavius with a K.
Keltavius. I mean, Blaze Jordan with the Red Sox.
Yeah. Well, let's bring this right into the combo right now. Jackson Jobe, big Tigers prospect, joining us. He's out at the Arizona Fall League. Jackson, how you doing, dude? And do you appreciate the show name that your parents gave you?
The show name, yeah. Thanks for having me on, and yeah, I definitely appreciate it. I guess we'll take it.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Like there's a lot of tools you can have. You can throw a billion miles an hour. You can have a hammer curveball. You can have good looks, but a big league name, like you're already on the mound. You've already struck out like 3 of the guys in the lineup with a name like Jackson Jobe. So just so you know, you're ahead of the game. You struck me out when I was younger, and we didn't even face each other.
I love it.
How's it going out there? So where are you? What's the plan while you're out there? What's your daily schedule like? Give me the lowdown on Arizona Fall League life.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I'm living in Scottsdale right now I'll be down here for just this month of October. But I think it goes on a little bit into November. And for the most part, it's been pretty laid back. Show up to the yard at around 2, get our throwing in, shag a little bit of EP, and then head out for the games. I think they've been at 6:30 for the most part. So I mean, it's been a lot of fun and definitely something I had heard about before coming. So was hoping I would get the invite, and glad I did.
Let me ask you this. We're looking at some film. I don't know if you could see this right now, but what would be your equalizer? You have your fastball, of course, but what would you say that next pitch is the one that's going to get the guys out? I know you got a couple different kinds, but your go-to pitch when you need to get a guy out with 2 strikes.
Yeah, I would say it's really been up until this year, the slider has been my pitch. Still is a good pitch. Like on paper, it's my best pitch, but I'd say my changeup has probably performed a little bit better this year just for whatever reason, finally figuring out how to locate it. And I just don't think a lot of guys are expecting it up there, especially righties. So I've been able to have success with that pitch this year, which I think has been pretty huge. But
was that your choice to develop that pitch, or was there a pitching coach that was like, hey, this changeup's going to be legit for you and really taught it to you?
Yeah, no, I kind of just started messing around with it. I mean, I threw one in high school and it was kind of average. Didn't really have to use it, obviously, because I'm facing, high school guys. But then getting here and getting my teeth kicked around a little bit last year, I figured that I need to mix things up a little bit better. So,
hey, with that big signing bonus, everybody goes out. They either buy a car, buy mom a house, or whatever. Was there a big purchase that you made for the family or for yourself?
Honestly, no. My dad's big on me, saving up and making sure that I don't get into all that. So there will be a day for sure when I splurge a little bit, but not yet.
And what is it? And what you have a list, or you got like a?
Oh yeah. I told myself when I debut I was gonna buy myself like a nice car as like a present, I guess, for myself. So we'll wait till that day comes. But I already got a few different cars in mind. So.
Oh, wow.
And what are they? Because I mean, you're playing for Detroit. It's a Motor City. You got a lot of connections there. Are we talking? Are we going electric? Or are we going big truck? Or are we going sports car?
Old school?
I think we're going like maybe maybe a Mercedes route, possibly. I got a truck right now, and it's
Class.
kind of a pain to have to park everywhere. It's super big, so I'm kind of leaning towards like a smaller, a little fast something. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's a smart move. That's a
Yeah.
smart move. Still living with mom and dad. Save that money as much as you can,
Say
dude.
you don't need a
Yeah,
house.
exactly.
No.
You don't need your own
Exactly.
place.
No.
You're
Hey,
home for 4 months.
yeah. What are your goals on the short term and the long term? And obviously, we know the classic. Like everyone wants to win a World Series. What else you got? Like what you look 10 years, 12 years, 15 years from now. What do you hope that you can say you did?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, big thing is the World Series. I mean, the Tigers haven't won a World Series since I think like 1984. So I think making that happen would be pretty dang cool for a lot of people. And then aside from that, I mean, Cy Young, All Star, like all that stuff. But I mean, the biggest thing, I mean, you said besides World Series, but like thinking of it really right now and watching postseason baseball right now, there's got to be nothing better than that. So.
Who would you say you emulate your game after? Is there a guy that you looked up to? Somebody you're like, man, this is the guy. I love watching him pitch. I want to be like this dude.
Yeah, right now it's definitely Garrett Cole. He's the pitcher that I definitely watch the most. But growing up, it was Tim Lincecum. He was my ride or die. He was my guy. I watched every single one of his starts, and I don't know what it was, but something about him, I loved him growing up. So that's my guy at heart. But right now, playing currently is definitely Garrett Cole.
All right, so you were talking about a lot of like long-term goals. I'm looking at where you ended in AA, right? You got one start
Correct.
in AA.
One star.
I need you to get your mind wrapped around pitching in Erie in April next year, because that is a grind. Are you ready for pitching in Erie in April or Toledo, whichever? Because there's some wind in that, John. Like it is cold.
Yeah, I honestly am not sure. I don't think I've ever pitched in any type of weather like that. I mean, the beginning of this year, I was rehabbing, so I was in Florida, and then the year before, I was in Low A in Florida. So I mean, I got no idea what it's gonna be like. So all I can do is just hope for the best, I guess.
You ever pitch in snow before?
Have I ever pitched with snow? No, I don't think.
No,
I
in
don't
snow.
think
Yeah,
so.
no. Well, Eric's trying to give you an inkling.
Does it snow for those games
Oh, Jesus Almighty!
in April? And
Especially Toledo.
It is a great
Toledo, yeah.
place to be a pitcher. Let's put it that way. It's a great place to be a pitcher.
Just
Hitters,
listen.
That's what I
you
like
are
to
gonna
hear.
you are gonna destroy hitters' dreams. You're gonna be making graves for hitters with the stuff we're watching on that video. You're gonna be just busting dudes' hands,
Oof.
knuckles, just fingers are just gonna be laying in the batter's box, and you'll be like, "I'll take those." Just gotta be ready.
If
I
that
like
doesn't
that.
make you
Cold.
want to get up to the big leagues, I don't know what will, dude.
Yep.
Hey, who are your guys on the Tigers? Whether it's in the system or in the big leagues, have you made some friends and had these conversations so far? Because there's a lot of young dudes, right? You've seen a young position player group start to make some noise, like a Riley Green and Torque. Now, what he got to 30 plus this year, so he had a much better second season. Have you gotten to spend some time with those guys yet and be like, yo, this is going to be the group here that gets the 84 thing scratched off?
Yeah, I have. Actually, my first spring training, me and another high school that was drafted my year, Isaac Pacheco, we hung out with Riley and Torg a few times, like going out to eat, playing golf, or whatever. But I mean, as far as like guys go in the org, like we got such a great group of guys, honestly, just from top to bottom. Like I played in the complex league, low A, high A, and double A this year, all from coming back from injury, and like each level I went up, like the guys were just they're awesome. Like it's just a ton of fun playing in this org, and I don't know if that's how it is everywhere else. Obviously, it's the only place I've been in, but I mean, we just got a great group of guys. I feel like it got something special going on, so it's been fun to be a part of.
All right. Now you're in the AFL right now. Sometimes it can be a grind for people, but you're playing with some of the best future competition that's out there. Now, on my team in 05, we had Ryan Zimmerman, Chris Young, Brandon Moss, David Murphy. So we had some future big leaguers. And I know I'm forgetting somebody that had a great career, but who in your team are you looking at in the short season you've been there so far, and you're like, whoa, this dude's going to be a big leaguer for a long time?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm biased, but definitely Tigers guy, Jace Young. He had a really good year this year. I think he hit like 28 pumps or something. And then we got a switch hitting catcher, Drew Romo, who's been pretty solid. He's caught a few of my pins. Um, and I'm trying to think outside of Tigers guys. I mean, we got another Tigers guy, Justice Bigby, that hit like 340 this year, who's just been unreal. So that's been a treat to watch. But yeah, I hate to rule anybody out. I mean, I would imagine that a lot of these guys are going to go on and do good things. So that's a tough one.
Do you look at a team and a division like the Tigers and the American League Central and say, hey, this could be a really great opportunity for me to get up to the show quicker? Because obviously there's nobody we'd ever talk to that's a prospect that's like, you know what, I really would like to stay here and just marinate for as long as possible. So like if I'm you, I'm looking at, a couple of things. One is we are seeing prospects getting called up quicker than ever. That's cool for you. We know what the goal is. And two, you're in a division where there's like a lot of turnover and rebuilding versus, I'll give you the example though, versus like, and it's different this year because the Dodgers went through a lot of injuries, but like sometimes, you'll meet a player on a team that's good every year and it's like, damn, I can't crack the big league roster there. And for you, that if you're thriving in the minors, like they're going to call you up and be like, yo, we're ready. Let's go.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It definitely helps to see kind of where we're at. Obviously, we're not where the Dodgers are, or Braves, or some of those organizations are yet, where they got so much money and contracts into their guys. So yeah, it definitely is encouraging to see that. But obviously, I got to do my part, and I know that it's not going to be given to me. But I definitely see what's going on that end, and it definitely is encouraging to see. Um, but yeah, hopefully we can make it up there and then win some games and go from there, make it happen, I guess.
So Jackson, what do you do to get ready for an outing? What do you look at info wise? Do you have favorite stats? What kind of reports are you getting? And I know obviously once you get up to the bigs, there's going to be a lot more, but do you try and kind of get in a rhythm where you're like, looking at video of yourself from your last start? What's the move?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing, and a tool I use, there's this website called True Media, and it pretty much tracks the entire baseball world of guys' heat maps and things like that and damage that they do with certain pitches. So I like to see where guys do damage with the fastball. And so that gives me kind of an idea of like, okay, what's this guy looking for? And for me, yeah, I throw hard or whatever, but my fastball has been the pitch that has taken the most damage this year by far, and it's not even close. Guys are just going up there, getting on time for the fastball and doing damage. So I had to figure out this year, where my fastball plays best, what are guys trying to do with my fastball, and majority of the time, guys are looking for that fastball middle in, whether it's a righty or lefty. They want it middle in so they can do damage with it. So for both righties and lefties, I just try to keep the fastball in the outer half. And then obviously for righties,
Uh-oh.
Somebody hit him up.
Phone call. Part of it.
He was sounding good right there.
That was a good report there.
He seems like I'm so impressed with kids, how young they are, that they can
articulate, man.
They have that. Yeah, they just have that ability already. Like he's 21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Probably
21, I was still in college.
Yeah.
And he most likely will be up next year on a team that needs him to be good. Not just like, hey, we'll get your feet wet. Now he's got a good manager that knows how to like start working guys into the big leagues in AJ Hinch, but and he's got other guys up there that, just recently, so they can kind of tell him, oh, don't worry about this or focus on that. But still, everybody looks at your ridiculous ability. He's in a league now where everybody has the same ability. You have to have that it factor where you're either like, bro, I'm good. I'm just looking at true media stuff. That's how I build my scouting reports. That's how I built my scouting reports. I got 9 true media accounts open on my computer right now. It's the go-to thing. And if you were to show one of these reports, just one of my hitter reports on camera, people would be like, huh?
Yeah.
What is that? It's red and green and blue,
Yep.
and there's numbers, there's percentages. And for him to be able to delve into that and read it and even say that that's what he's using is light years
Ahead
advanced.
of everything. Yeah. No, I wasn't there at all.
And it's not for everybody. I'm not saying it
No.
needs to be for everybody, but
still, it's amazing.
21, you were still in college.
Yeah. No,
You were at Ruckatacurs.
I was worried about what I was eating. I was starving.
Right,
hungry.
you were just hungry.
I was going up there swinging, free swinging.
This dude, because you
looking-
could.
No, you could too.
I could. You wrong.
You,
I was playing Division 3 baseball. You were in the real jungle, Division 1.
Well, listen, you either have it or you don't. This guy seems like he's got it. I mean, from that video, he kind of got that Corey Kluber-esque to me. I don't know. I just saw his smoothness, 4 or 5 different pitcher. His sweeper, as we call it, was filthy. And then he had a little baby cutter and then the chain. I mean, he looks smooth as silk, man. I can't wait to see him when he gets to the show.
Talking to AJ Hinch when he took the job 3 years ago, he talked so much about hey, this guy's coming, this guy's here.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the Tigers are building. They're building around the young pitchers, and now they've drafted a couple young position players that are coming in. And some of those pitchers haven't panned out. You got your Tommy John surgeries. You got, some guys graduate sooner. Some guys don't figure it out in the big leagues sooner.
54%.
54% winning. I know AJ Hinch isn't about 54% winning, but I mean, you're talking about a guy at the end of the season, Tigers, Tarek Skubal, who's punching out the world from the left side, was a reliever. Then you start bringing this, a guy like this up next year. If he's up next year, 22 years old, he's not just he's not turning 22 in this offseason. He's turning 22 during the end of the season next year.
Mm-hmm.
It's
you root for guys. These young guys.
It should be exciting, especially with Torkelson and Carpenter. Riley Green starting to come into his athletic own. He's starting to understand what it means to be the center fielder in the big leagues.